Good morning, class 11. In today's session, I'll proceed further with the classification of elements according to modern periodic table given by Henry Moseley. As I told you in the previous lectures that the elements are classified in the modern periodic table according to the blocks. The 4 blocks are there, S, P, D, F, and the 18 groups are there and 7 periods are there. Those groups and periods fall under the blocks only. So here I'm going to discuss with you separately the characteristics of each block. So first of all I'm taking this S block element. So S block elements, as I told you before also, the S block comprises the group 1 and 2. That is, the extreme left of the periodic table is S block element. It includes the elements in which the last electron is filled in the S subshell. Group 1 is known as alkali metal, group 2 is known as alkaline earth metals. So children, the meaning of this sentence I'll explain you with the help of an example. And the general electronic configuration of S block element is NS122, and these are excellent reducing agents. These are very good reducing agents. Now how do we come to know about this general electronic configuration? Actually children, this sentence which is mentioned here is actually related to this general electronic configuration. So let me explain you with the help of an example. If suppose I take an example of group 1 element, say sodium, atomic number 11. So when you write down the electronic configuration following the Aufbau's principle for sodium, it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. The sentence was, these are the these elements. In these elements, the last electron enters into S subshell. Right? So the last electron you can see here is entering where? It is entering into S subshell of the last shell. Last shell is, the third shell is the last shell here. That is why it is categorized as, what? As S block element. So wherever you see that if in any element the last electron is entering into the S subshell of the last shell, it falls under S block category. Now taking another example of calcium, atomic number 20. Now when you write down the electronic configuration of this, you will find it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6 and 4s2. Now again let me check whether it is 20 electrons or no. 4 plus 6, 10, 12, 18 and 20. Now here you can see that again the last electron is entering into the S subshell of the last shell, which is the fourth shell. So this will also fall under S block. Now as you can see here, there is only one electron in the subshell, S subshell. So this belongs to group 1. And here you can see that there are 2 electrons in the S subshell. So this belongs to group 2. I hope this much is clear. Now to find out the general electronic configuration, as you saw, the general electronic configuration is NS122. Now here N stands for outermost shell. This stands for outermost shell. Please include all these examples and the things that I am writing here in your notes. N stands for outermost shell, and this S, you know, S is what? S is the subshell. Right? So I hope the meaning of these two are clear. So in first case you can see that it is, the value of N here is 3, and in second case you can see here that the value of N is 4. So here it is NS1, that is 3s1, and here again it is NS2, that is 4s2. So you can write here that in general you can write the electronic configuration as NS122. That means N is the shell number, the value of the outermost shell number, and S indicates that the electron, the last electron is entering into S subshell, and 1 to 2 is the number of electrons. Why 1 to 2? Because at the max it can hold 2 electrons and minimum 1 electron. Because S has only one orbital, it can have the electron like this, or it can have the electron like this, because the maximum electron holding capacity of S is 2 only. So 1 to 2. When you are talking about group 1 element, the outermost electronic configuration will be NS1, and when you are talking about group 2 elements, the outermost electronic configuration will be NS2. So for S block we say NS1 to 2. I hope this much is clear to you children. It is very important, this question, to write down the general electronic configuration is frequently asked in your exam. So pay attention to it. Now coming to the point, good reducing agents. What are reducing agents? The reducing agents are the agents which has a tendency to reduce other element or other compound. That means these are the electron losers, or these elements are the source of electron. As you all know that metals are categorized by their characteristic feature of losing electron, and the chemical species which loses electron, what happens? It gets oxidized and act as a reducing agent. These things you must have done in class 10 also. It is just a revision. Now coming to the next block, that is P block element. In P block element, the last electron enters into the P subshell, we know that P subshell can hold maximum of 6 electrons. That is, it will have 6 groups. Yes, this is again a very important point to remember. See children, when you know the maximum electron holding capacity of any subshell, like in this case S, for subshell S, the maximum electron holding capacity is 2. So it will have 2 groups under it. And in case of P, that is P block, when we are talking about P block, that means the last electron will enter into P subshell, and the maximum electron holding capacity of P subshell is 6. So it will have 6 groups under it. Now, so if you remember, I told you that the extreme left of the periodic table has group 1 and 2, and then we have, it has group 1 and 2, and then we have 3 to 12 group here, and then we have 13 to 18 group towards right hand side. So if you'll count here, this is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 groups under it, and this is P block, right? This is P block. Similarly, for S block, you can see here group 1 and 2 is present here, and S has, it can hold maximum of 2 electrons. So it comprises of 2 groups, group 1 and group 2. Similarly, if you count here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, you'll find that there are total 10 groups falling under D block. Why? Because D has a maximum electron holding capacity of 10. So you can remember the number of groups falling under each block with the help of the maximum electron holding capacity of each subshell. So continuing with this, now general electronic configuration of P block is NS2NP126. NS2NP126. Again, take up an example. Suppose if I take an example of chlorine here, atomic number 17, right? It is a P block element. Now when you write the electronic configuration, it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. In total we have 4, 10, 12, 5 more. 3s2 and 3p5. Now please count the total number of electrons present here: 10, 12 and 17. So this is the electronic configuration. This is the outer electronic configuration of p block, where you can see that this is the outermost shell, that is third shell is the outermost shell. In general you can write ns2 and np5, right? So what happens if you write down separately for each group, starting from group 13. For group 13 it is ns2 np1. For group 14 it is ns2 np2. For 15 it is np3. I'm not writing ns2 for each and every group. For 16 it will be np4, and 17 is np5 as you saw here, and for 18 group it is np6. So basically you can see that the minimum electron which p can have is 1 and maximum electron which p can have is 6, and it is accommodating all the 6 groups in it. So in general you can say ns2 np1 to 6. This is the general electronic configuration of p block elements. So it is very simple to remember. By simply knowing the concepts, you can write down the electronic configuration. There is nothing to learn about it. And S and P block elements are collectively known as representative elements, and it is a combination of metals and non-metals. Group 16 are known as chalcogens, group 17 are known as halogens, and group 18 is known as noble gases, which I have already discussed. So these are 3 important groups of P block element, and the something special about P block is that it holds the metals also as well as the non-metals, whereas S block is totally metal. In fact, D block is also totally metal, whereas P block has a combination of both metal and non-metal. Like I discussed here, chlorine is a non-metal. It also holds aluminium, which is a metal. So like this you can observe the periodic table and can find out. Now coming to D block elements. For D block element, the last electron enters into D subshell of the penultimate shell. Now what does this term mean, penultimate? Penultimate means second last shell. This point is very important to understand. The last electron enters into the D subshell of the penultimate shell. And the general electronic configuration of D block element is n-1d1 to 10, ns1 to 2. Now n here means the outermost shell and n-1 means second last shell. I'll explain you how. And obviously 1 to 10 indicates the electron holding capacity. For S, you know the electron holding capacity is 1 or 2. And maximum it has 10 electrons. So obviously it will have 10 groups, which I explained you. And the groups that fall under D block is 3 to 12. Now, how do we get this general electronic configuration? So I'm taking up an example here. I am taking up the example of scandium, which is the first element of the D block, atomic number 21. Okay. Now when you write down the electronic configuration, as you saw in case of calcium, it will remain the same. That is, when you write down 1s2, 2s2 and then so on, at last you'll have 4s2 and 3d1. So when you can write down the entire electronic configuration and then find out 4s2 3d1. This is the outermost electronic configuration. Now this 4s corresponds to ns2. Corresponds to this ns2, and 3d1. 3 means the outermost shell is n and this is 4, and the second last shell is 4 minus 1, that is 3. So you can write n minus 1 If the value of n is 5, then the value of n minus 1 will be 4. So it is n minus 1 d1. Okay, so if you'll continue writing the electronic configuration of each group which is falling under D block, you will observe that this number 1, it will go on increasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in general, the electronic configuration can be written as n minus 1 d 1 to 10 and ns2, because the last electron is entering into the second last shell of D subshell. Are you getting it? The last electron is entering into D subshell of the second last shell. So that is why the electronic configuration is generally written as this. Now if I take up another example of iron atomic number 26, at last you'll find it will be 4s2 3d6. Again 4 means n, it will be ns2, and for D the value of the shell is 1 less than that of the value of n, that is you can write n minus 1 because the last electron is entering into the second last shell, that is the penultimate shell, n minus 1 d6. Similarly, if you write it down for zinc, I am taking up the random examples. Atomic number 30, it will be 3d10 4s2. Again you can write ns2 n minus 1 d10. So in general you can say it is ns2 n minus 1 d1 to 10. If you write down the electronic configuration and then try to compare it with the general electronic configuration, you will understand it in a better way. I have taken up 3 examples and you can take up more examples and then compare. So basically in D block, what happens, the last electron is not entering into the outermost shell. In fact, the last electron is entering into the second last shell, and which subshell? D subshell. That is why it is known as inner transition, that is why it is known as transition element. So children, go through S, P and D block elements. Try to write down their electronic configuration and compare it with the general electronic configuration, and then let me know if you have any doubt or any problem. So here are some important points also. Before I conclude the session, I would like to discuss with you the important points related to D block elements. So the first point is D block elements are known as transition elements. Why? Because they have incompletely filled D orbitals in their ground state or in any oxidation state. So basically if D block is not completely filled, it is partially filled in any of the D block element, it is known as transition element. Then D block has 4 transition series, each having 10 electrons. Okay, it has 4 transition series, that is 3D, 4D, 5D and 6D. Here you can compare it with the Aufbau's principle. In Aufbau's principle also you must have observed that 4 transition series, 3D, 4D, 5D and 6D. All metals with high melting point and boiling point mostly form colored compounds of complex nature. They are paramagnetic in nature. Paramagnetic means they are attracted in the magnetic field. They have variable oxidation states, and large number of D block elements act as catalyst like iron, cobalt, nickel, manganese, chromium, platinum, vanadium, etc. There are certain exceptions. The exception is group 12 of D block have completely filled D orbital. That is why it is not categorized as transition element. Like I discussed the example of zinc. If you remember, I said the electronic configuration is 4s2 3d10. The D block in case of zinc is completely filled. That is why it is non-transition element. Now I will explain these points once again in my next session and will discuss with you the F block elements. Thank you for watching the video. Take care.